Hello and welcome to another sports webinar. Joining us now is a man who's had more fingers in pies than Simple Simon, but nothing simple about this man. He's done many things, from running motorcycle dealerships to starting and working with two of the great motorcycle publications in Australia, Live to Ride and, of course, Bike magazine. His true love, though, is speedway racing, in particular sidecars, and he gets a bit sideways. Let's welcome Tony Williams. Hello, Tony.
On you, Jonesy. How are you, mate? Good to see you.
Very well. So what is your love of Speedway sidecars? Where's that come from?
Well, it goes back to the late 60s. One of the big things in Sydney in those days was Saturday night at the Sydney Showground and of course, rugby league. And being a fanatical South Sydney supporter, we used to go and watch South play. And then on Saturday night, if you could afford it, you'd go to the Sydney Showground Speedway. And it really was probably the second golden era of Speedway in Australia. Some of the greatest drivers and riders came out of that era. Jack Brabham, John Harvey, all started out in Speedway. And I used to love the speed cars and I loved the solos, but I just thought there was something inherently crazy about those sidecars. Wheel on a slant, leant over, some guy hanging off for grim death, no brakes, 100 mile an hour sideways. I mean, you can't get much crazier than that. And I thought to myself,
did the track? So did the track go around the football field? So did you you watch the footy on the weekend, and then you'd be seeing Speedway. I'm surprised they didn't run them together.
Sydney Cricket Ground next door, and the Sydney Showground. So you had the main arena,
of course,
and then you had the big track around that they used to run the cows and that on. And in the summer months, they run the Speedway on there.
Yeah. And when you started doing it, what got you the thing that got you into actually riding it? What were you thinking? Oh, I'm going to do this.
Well, you remember the old Revs magazine, the newspaper? I was reading it, and my passenger was actually reading it. He rang me up and he said one of our heroes was a guy by the name of Doug Timon, who campaigned a Triumph very successfully. He said, Doug Timon's Triumph's up for sale. And I had my road bike up for sale, and I just sold it. And I said, and we're going out to the Speedway Saturday night. We're going to corner him when he comes out of the pits. And we're going to buy his bike off him on the spot. That way he can't dud us. He's gone, right. So out we went. And, of course, we were just so excited. And to meet Doug, he was a hero of mine at the time. And Doug, very crafty. We were to learn the hard way how crafty you need to be when you ride Speedway. He said, I'll finish the season on this bike and then you can have it. So we watched every meeting, hoping he didn't crash the damn thing. And then when the end of the season came, he decided to keep the bike. He said, I'll build you one. And, of course, what we got was not quite what we expected. It wasn't as powerful. But then again, we were only novices. So he built us a pre-unit, a separate engine gearbox with a couple of massive big Amel Grand Prix carburetors running on methanol. And we went out, and you know where Fraser Motorcycles is at Homebush. You've got the beginning of the M4, or was it M4? Yeah, the M4.
Yeah.
And before they laid the tarmac on it, that's where we used to practice our starts, because a Speedway sidecar, when you take off, unless you keep it flat out, the minute you roll the throttle off on the old ones anyway, the new ones are very different. They just do the fastest right-hand turn you've ever seen in your life. You've got no control over it. So starting is critical. Right. The passenger's in the sidecar, hangs onto the bar, off you go flat out. When I go from second to third, you start off in second. Then he gets up behind you, and then timing is everything. He gets himself down so you can get it sideways in the corner. So that's what we did. We started. Our first ride was on the old M4 before it got tarmac on it, and then we spent a long time in
before the tolls as well.
Before the tolls, no tolls. We wouldn't have paid it at the speed we were going.
But so what made you choose like a Speedway, the sidecar, as opposed to the solo? What made you do that?
Well, I don't really know, but it's probably we've known each other for a number of years, and you know that I'm slightly insane, so I probably think that's got something to do with it.